Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Seen podcast. Today, I want to talk about something very, very dope. Um, this episode is going to be about maintaining the individuality in relationships, right? Because there's the time old, wise old question, that bellows through the eons of time. Why don't relationships work? And I I I come to terms with a reality that I think is the reason why, but I think it's a little bit deeper. I mean, in having the thoughts behind this, it enveloped into other things and developed into other things to where it was like, damn, that's why shit be trash. You feel what I'm saying? And it's about maintaining the individuality and maintaining your individuality in relationships. You feel me? The moment we lose our identity, we don't our relationships start to crumble. But even worse, a lot of us don't go into relationships with an identity, which means it's not gonna last anyway. But you know, I was talking to a honey bun, and the the conversation came about because we were uh we were discussing like we were kind of discussing like at what window and at what point does it stop, like, you know what I'm saying, because everybody knows everybody knows that relationships require work. However however we are so programmed that work is monotony that we make our relationships monotonous. You feel what I'm saying? So we lose that initial spontaneity that we get as we develop the beginning phases of the relationship. And, you know, anything like, because I've learned that anytime you hear the word work, people automatically make a negative situation out of it. You feel what I'm saying? If you hear relationships take work, you're like, oh shit, this is going to be difficult. Or if you hear, I got to go work out, oh, the work, it's like, it's certain words and structures that we have stigmatized negatively that will make us not operate in our full capacity, right? So when it comes to relationships, knowing that a relationship requires you to put in work, people think that that work that you got to put in is, just bullshit. You feel me? Sometimes it is, but it's also tied into, imagine having to do work for something you don't have an identity to. It's like, millennials, y'all, we can fuck with this. It's like going to school for a whole degree and not getting a job where you can use the motherfucker. You feel me? So the work that you got to put in, mm, you're like, motherfucker, do I really want to do this? You feel me? That's how relationships are built. You know what I'm saying? Low key. And as you've seen from the title, you know, the stay off my plate shit, I feel like that is important in this context because it's at that moment where relationships start getting boring. And I'm not saying in the moment where, you order, because my fellas, brothers, you know how we do. We order our food and shit. And she already know in her mind what the fuck she want to eat. She got a whole motherfucking plate out there and still want to stick a little fucking crummy ass fork in your shit and say, ooh, I just want to taste it. And ends up eating more. It's like, damn, you got food. But the reason why I'm saying that is because it is in that time pocket where your relationship is healthy. It is in that time pocket where the relationship is good. It's in that time pocket where you start to envision, I can marry this person, I could be with this person, I can spend all of the time that I want to with this person. It's in that time pocket where everything is right. Right? But then it crumbles somewhere. Where? I think the place that it crumbles, I'll talk about when we come back from break. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at the Just Seen Podcast. Be sure to hit up my website at iamjustseen.com to get all things that are just seen. So all those who tip donated sponsors to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. To all those who would like to tip donate sponsors to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the description of your podcast. Not the link, not the episode itself, but the podcast. Cash App and PayPal are fine. Also, as I said, you can visit the actual podcast website that has developed a lot more through iamjustseeing.com. Just click the little podcast block and you can get all things that are me, you know, more streamlined. I'm still fine tuning and everything. But yeah, that's that for this. I cut that shit off and just started. But yeah, that's that for this and that's this for that. So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna dive into I don't know the main title. I just know it's gonna be "Stay Off My Plate." So, if you're reading this, if you've already clicked it, then I've already decided on the title as always. But the main theme of this is staying off my plate. Oh yeah, and don't forget to visit iamjustseeing.com. There you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the Soul series to your library? Visit iamjustseeing.com. You want to learn how to master the market for serious trading and investing? Visit iamjustseeing.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit iamjustseeing.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit iamjustseeing.com. You ever want to just chat with Scene about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit iamjustseeing.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at iamjustseeing.com. So just take a quick peek into my world and see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it. You will never see it unless you visit iamjustseeing.com. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. And as I said, it's that time pocket where the relationship is dope, right? The relationship is good. I'm gonna expound on it and I'm gonna elaborate where I come from with this shit because it's like, the quote unquote courting phase, the dating phase, the talking phase, you feel me? I got an episode. I don't remember the name, but I'm talking about the levels of relationships, like how relationships go and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got the talking phase, get the number talking, everything. Like motherfuckers just fuck the shit up. You feel me? Motherfuckers just are so, and where they fuck it up the most is that a lot of people, a lot of relationships are built on people being solely focused on having amazing sex. All of that shit is bullshit if don't nothing else fly through. Having amazing sex with nothing going on is only good when you're a teenager. It's only possible when you're a teenager. I'm sorry. You feel me? I'm sorry. I tell my stories. I keep it a hundo. I've had a lot of sex in my day, and I can pretty much validate that the more shit you had going on in life, the the more shit you had going on in life, the the more it took to have amazing sex because this person has to be able to be, you feel me? In high school, it's just, when you start your fucking early, it's nothing to have amazing sex. It's just like, yo, I'm focusing on it's just sex. But now you're getting older, sex is, you got to be financially stable to have amazing sex. You have to be, your mental health has to be in check to have amazing sex. You have to be in a space where you two are compatible and thriving to have amazing sex. It's not as simple as just catching the body anymore. You feel what I'm saying? But we have made that a theme of the relationships and shit like that without knowing the full inner workings of a person. You feel me? So it's like when we look at relationships and why they struggle, why they don't work, is because the first premise of what we're talking about is you no longer maintain your individuality. You lose it. You're not the individual anymore that the person was intrigued with. You feel me? You guys are quote unquote one. You guys are, she's your rib or whatever genre, whatever it is that you're expressing, she's who I pursue. She's the good thing I found. All of these different things, but it becomes so structured. And I ain't gonna say structured, it just becomes so fucked up that you lose sight of it. The relationship dies because it never lived. You feel me? It was never alive. It was never alive because it was two people coming together on a strength that it was two people who come together and then they started to lose their identity. You feel me? Because this is why I'm always big on being yourself fully before you get into a relationship, because you don't have to wear that mask. You don't wear the mask when you start the shit. You feel me? But the reason why this is talk about staying off my plate, because it's like now when I go back into maintaining the individuality, think about when shit was popping. Just if you had a relationship, think about your most popping relationship. If you're in one now, think about the moments when it was popping. It was those moments centered around when the woman, I ain't even gonna say non-binary, I ain't gonna be petty today. When the woman is eating off the plate of the man when they're on a date or whatever the case may be. I know it seems so small. It seems so, and right now my brother's probably looking, man, damn, I hate when she did that. Why the fuck didn't she just order what I had? I'm gonna get to that. She's like, why didn't you just order what I had? Cause I wanted what I wanted. I just wanted to taste yours. I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? And then when the shit is popping, like it's supposed to be, because that shows one side of it. You feel me? As brothers, when we get mad and like, yo, why didn't you just order what I ordered? Or why you want to stick your finger, in my plate, or why you want to eat the fuck what? You got to start seeing that from a more positive perspective, because she's trying to step into your world. I know, bruh, it's food. I know, but see it on a bigger scale. She's trying to step into your world. I just want a piece of what you bring to the table. Not the whole thing. Just want a piece of it. You feel me? Those are the moments when a relationship is the most healthiest. Even the toxic ones. Even the toxic ones. And I'm not just saying it from the perspective of when we're eating food, that's when our relationship. No. Because then the motherfuckers are gonna think you gotta be fat ass, greedy, gluttonous motherfuckers and shit. And by fat ass, I mean non-weight airy. Let me stop. Let me stop playing. You know what I'm saying? But when in that pocket of time in a relationship, that's two individuals coming together, right? That's two individuals coming together. The biggest mind fuck and the biggest fuck up that we run into when it comes to our relationships is that we become one. Now, I ain't gonna say that's a mind fuck. I'm gonna say the biggest misunderstanding is that we become one. When we hear that and we internalize that, we think it's we become the same. I be seeing a little bullshit about if we're not wearing in our 60s, whatever, we're not wearing matching outfits when we go out or some shit like that. You ain't the one for me. Okay. The goal is to be one, not the same. You feel me? Low key, this may be a reach, but I think that's why that phrase was created, one and the same. Because there's one, then there's the same, and then there's two things together, one and the same. Relationships, you're not supposed to be the same when you're one. And it's more evident, more prevalent when we are in the beginning phases, when there's no control, there's no jealousy, there's no, insecurity, there's no, none of the bullshit there. It's when she's able to say, that looks good, let me try it. And she takes a piece of what you got. And you like, and what's dope, what's cute about some shit that women do and shit. They'll ask you, you know, it's so dope. Like they'll ask you and shit. They be like, here, they'll be like, that looks good. Let me have a piece. And they'd be like, all right, you should put a fork in, take a little bit of that. That's good. Here's where a lot of us as men, we miss this shit because we be so frustrated about why the fuck didn't you just order what the fuck you wanted to order? You should have ordered what I got, did if that's what you wanted. And she didn't want that. After she tastes yours, again, this is a metaphor, but it's a reality too for you to see it. But after she tastes yours, what does she do? Try mine. Does she not? Now, if she's on some healthy shit, now this is where you start to get the healthy shit. But you got the greedy motherfuckers. I just want yours, and I'm gonna go back to eating mine. Those are red flags on a subtle level. Now, I'm not saying if a motherfucker just stick they fork in your plate and then don't offer you none, that's a red flag. No, I'm speaking metaphorically because now I'm speaking metaphorically, but how you can see it in a real term, in a real time, because it shows that, they have that mentality. What's yours is mine. What's mine is mine. You can't have mine. Something as subtle and simple as, I would like to taste your food. All right, here, you can have some. That's good. Or, I don't really like that. You want to try mine? I just walked into your world. Now I want you to step into mine. You feel me? See where I'm at and why I like certain things. You know how many, a lot of people like we go on dates to eat and shit. We don't have nothing to talk about. You know how much can be talked about what choice a motherfucker made from food? Mm, this didn't taste too good. Or this tastes great. What made you get that? Why do you like that? Here, try mine. Yours was good. Here, try mine. Why do you like that? Oh, well, because I remember doing this, that, and the third. You can open up a whole world of conversation to let down the guards if you knew how to fucking talk right. But I digress. I'm getting back to the topic of how staying off my plate, staying off your plate, is actually very beneficial in regards to, why relationships fail because we stay off each other's plate after that. We stop being on each other's plate because it is that moment when the spontaneity stops. Relationships can only remain fresh for as long as they can stay spontaneous. I think people, again, another word uses people think fresh is new. No, no, fresh don't always mean new. I know it applies like that. You feel me? Imagine buying a brand new pair of sneakers and never wearing them for a year. When you wear them out the box, they still fresh. Are they not? Okay. The point that I'm making with that is that we mistake fresh, just as we mistake being one for being the same, we also mistake being a fresh relationship as being new. No. A relationship starts being fresh when it's no longer spontaneous, but it's no longer spontaneous when the two individuals have become the same. You feel me? Everybody wants to be one. Nobody wants to be the same, but we force ourselves to be the same. We force ourselves to be the same. So it's like, I get it. They say things like ideals must align, and ideals and morals and values, they can very well align. They can be the same, but the people don't have to do the same shit and be the same person. The moment that shit happens, that's when the shit stops. That's when the relationship starts to get bad and you end up just going through the motions. But now we go back to work because relationships are work. There's not a doubt in my mind about it. I'm not against that. But relationships aren't monotonous. You feel me? They shouldn't be monotonous with the work. Whistle while you work, motherfucker. I ain't gonna sing the rest because kids might be listening. You feel me? But it is that moment in that pocket of time, like I said, when a woman is willing to eat off your plate and you're willing to eat off of hers, and but more importantly, when she's offering, and vice versa. Sometimes it's like, dudes, we get initiated. That motherfucker look good right there. Hey, look, because I know I've done this before. Like I was on a date one time and she had this French fry. And like, you ever been looking at a motherfucker plate and the way something sits like it's calling your name? You feel me? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. You done it before. So I said, hey, yo, you don't want that fry right there. I know you don't because I want that. Like, and they want me too. It's calling me like we're talking to each other. You feel me? Quick joke laugh. She gave me the fry and shit. And then here, you want one of mine? You feel me? I know I just took your fry and I'm offering you one of my fries because your fry called me. Your fry wasn't on my plate. It was supposed to be. You feel me? Simple shit. But on a bigger scale, it's like when we get that person who's able to, taste our food. Because a lot of times when we get frustrated, and as men, I think we get frustrated. Well, people, when people are like, nah, stay off my plate, whatever case may be. I think we get frustrated because we don't want anybody in that space. We talk about wanting relationships, but subtle behaviors and subtle unconscious shit shows that we don't. Like, you don't want anybody to share your flavor, your taste of food. Like, you don't want to share that with anybody. It's like, nah, this is mine. Like, it's mine. At that moment, you can start to see. It's not always this case, but you can begin to see the ego develop, whether it's healthy or not. And like, this person doesn't really want you in their world. I don't want you to even like what I taste. Like, I mean, taste what I like. Like, little subtle things like that. But those moments in developing and building a relationship are very crucial because that time, like I said, that time pocket that we're in. when we're in that, from the movie choices, from the dates, from the different things that we're involved in. It's like those moments. This is why relationship counselors and all these motherfuckers are like, yo, you got to keep dating. Our shit is, I already got her. You know, shorties, I already got him. Like, what the fuck? Like, and you got to keep dating because the dating keeps the spontaneity in it. Not only that, dating, dating is when you are individual. Again, we want to be one with each other, but in being that oneness, we think we're the same. We're not. We're not. It's different. It's different. And you're supposed to bring your differences together to be one. You feel what I'm saying? You cannot fuck with somebody in the type time of we have to do that. Gets boring. We work the same way. And so here's where the metaphor transitioned on, because as I was, as I was talking to Bun and shit, it was more so listening to the dynamic of what happened, when does it stop? Because now it's like we go from, you feel me? And this seems like it's so special, but this is where it slips in and it fucks you up, because it's like it starts off, well, okay, we go into different places and eating, but we want to save money and shit. Cool, we want to save money. So we start cooking out or whatever the case may be, but we're cooking in. But going from having two different plates to having the same plate, that's one thing. It's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna cook for you. It starts to slow down the pace. It's like, I'm gonna cook for you. I'm gonna learn what you like, and I'm gonna cook this. I'm gonna cook this. Men and women, we both cook now. You feel me? That's what I love my generation. Shit, we both cook, we both clean. We just like, yo, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat. We're on some self-sufficient shit. You feel me? But when you've been together for a decent amount of time, there's no longer the desire to taste what's on the plate. And here's why. We're eating the same thing. Now, again, I'm not saying, because I'm not saying that this needs to be the case, because I understand, finances, I understand systems, I understand all these different things. But when there's no more spontaneity in your shit, and this is something as subtle as just the food, but it happens on a grander scale. That who we were when we were dating, when we were able to look and say, I like what you got. We brought different things to the table. Now every day, every night, we bring the same thing to the table over and over and over and over and over again. So imagine this, right? Imagine this. We sit down at the table to eat, say grace. If you say grace, do what you do. And you look over and say, can I try what's on your plate? No, because it's on your plate too. You wouldn't even think to ask. You would not even think to ask. You feel me? Now, this is not to say, every day, um, it's not to say, of course, every day eat out. But it's, you two can eat different things in a single setting at home. But I get it. It's the programming too. Like a lot of us were raised differently. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of us are raised differently. A lot of us are raised on if you don't eat what I cooked, you don't eat. You feel me? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not mad at that at all, because I understand the parenting. You feel me? I understand the parenting. Not a motherfucking choice. You're a child. Like, the fuck? You're a kid. Like, eat what I gave you. Totally fucked up, which is kind of a quandary while we're in this, the health situation that we're in right now. But I don't want to get on that. I don't want to take away from where we at right now, because I got a podcast on that episode too. But we no longer bring our individuality to the table anymore. You dig what I'm saying? Now, if we had to merge it, it's like, okay, what do you want to eat? Okay, bam, bam, bam. I'm on this. All right, what do you want? And then we alternate and shit like that. But then it's like, there's moments where it's like, okay, cool. If you can't have a date night as frequently as you would like, out of a week, Say maybe have 2 or 3 days where I make what I want for that day, you make what you want for the day, just for the individual. We don't have to make no big grandiose meal that we're gonna save leftovers for. No, just me and you, and we don't tell each other what we're gonna make. It takes it back to the essence of that day. That's I want to try that. What's on your plate? Have some. You feel me? I've never been on a date, you know, when I was dating, but I've never been on a date where a woman wouldn't want my food and then say, care for some? You want some? You feel me? Because that's the freshness of it. It's like, okay, it's gonna allow us to go somewhere. So periodically we can do that. But then that means that I want you to know that I still have my own world. You feel me? I get it. We want to know everything about our significant other. We want to be completely enthralled in their life, but that is too consuming. Let them breathe. Let them have something to come back to you to. You feel what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm talking about that is because I had a situation. I had a girlfriend, and I learned a lot in this moment because, again, we were raised totally different. Totally different. I mean, like totally different. But it was a necessary relationship. Fuck how it went. It was a necessary relationship because when I consider it was really, really something very, very simple that I couldn't get. Like I remember, I think I was a RA at the time. I was doing something work wise and I needed some food and I couldn't go get it. And she was like, what you want to eat? And I was like, where you going? She's like, it don't matter. I go anywhere. Like, where you want to eat? She's like, no. What it was, I think she was going to Wendy's or something. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Go to Cookout for me. No, no, no. I was like, no, no, no. That's what she was. She asked me first what I want. I was like, I want Cookout. And she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to Wendy's. I was like, well, fuck it. Give me Wendy's then if that's where you're going. Because my upbringing, my cultural connection is we're going to one place. That's it. Decide what you want there. You feel what I'm saying? That's where we're going. Simple as that. It's like, and if you don't want that, then whatever. But she showed me something different because in that moment I was like, damn, I want to cook out. She said, I can go to Cookout. It's not a problem. I was like, nah, that's too much because you already going to Wendy's. Just pick me up. She was like, no, I can get you something from Cookout. For one, it's right across the street. And for two, that's what you want. Like, you don't want Wendy's. I do. It's okay. I was like, you sure? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like traumatized motherfucking shit. Like, you sure? Because I had never experienced life like that. You feel me? Her and I had several, no moments where it was the individuals got to show up. Of course, eventually it got to a point where they merged as one and shit went sour. You feel me? But you still got to acknowledge the good, the lessons that you can learn out of a relationship. And that was one of the lessons, and that was one of the lessons that I started to see as on a broader scale. Why a lot of motherfuckers' relationships don't work. You feel me? Because that essence of individuality and spontaneity loses because those two things have to go in hand. You can't be spontaneous with a motherfucker who knows everything you do. You feel me? Now, this is not to say be secretive or no shit like that with your relationship, but it's like if I know every single quirk, because we're so routine and monotonous. Now, there's nothing wrong with routine, just like there's nothing wrong with work. The issue is that the relationship becomes monotonous. When we think work has to be put in, work, I want to speak on it from a perspective of physics. Work is a formula. You feel what I'm saying? Work is a formula of input and output. Something input, you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get in what you put out. We live for work under perspective. I got to do the same thing all the time to get the same result out of it. Mm-mm. That's why employees get paid one thing and entrepreneurs get paid another. But employees know what they're getting paid. Entrepreneurs don't. They know what they're worth. They know what their products are worth. They know what the thing, but they necessarily don't know what they're going to make. That's why you do it like business models. A lot of businesses do forecasting. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna make, but you can anticipate based off of how you're putting your system up. Work, you don't have to do that shit. You don't have to think. You just have to go, show up, do the same job, and go the fuck home. You feel me? So when we look at relationships like that, oh, relationships will work, we think we got to clock in. I just did a recent podcast episode, and this kind of ties into it on basically it was on relationships, basically treating them like a business or a job. And this segues perfectly from it, because at what point do you work in regards of what point do you work in your relationship in regards of where you two are just the same motherfuckers? You feel what I'm saying? Your oneness has become sameness. You feel me? When you are on those dates and she's putting her fork in your plate, there's oneness there, but there's oneness in individuality, because you both are two. You're becoming one, but you're both willing to taste each other's food. You feel what I'm saying? And the oneness should not become sameness to where we now eat the same things. We consume now. Eat, I'm going to replace with the word consume, although you just heard the sneak peek for what I'm about to go with this. But to eat is to consume. Consume has 3 levels: mind, body, and soul. When we are consuming the same things, mind, body, and soul, there's no growth. There's no desire to grow. This is why people say, when did the relationship go stale? Relationships ain't supposed to get stale when the individuals can continue to clash and show up. This is why affairs work. This is why workplace romances work. This is why, you feel me? This is why shit is what it is. Your home is so regular. I'm not taking shots or anything like that, but it's like we build the home to be our safe place, right? It's our essence. It's where we can go to relax, to be calm, and everything like that. But home should be where we should be able to do everything at. But here's where I'm going with that, because it's like the woman, the woman that's at work. You feel me? She has a little bit, you know what I'm saying? There's no connection to her. With the ever-changing polarities of just the day-to-day, when you guys work the same job, it can make it seem like, okay, I fucks with this person. It's just because there's constant spontaneity there. You feel what I'm saying? And you guys get moments to laugh and enjoy certain things, and it feels like, okay, we might like each other, whatever the case may be. Sisters too, y'all be having work hubbies. Don't trip, don't act like that shit, because it is the spontaneity, it is the individuality that you two continue to come with. You feel me? We assume that the moment a relationship happens, we gotta be the same motherfucker now. Who the fuck started that shit? Who the fuck? I know who started it. This ties into that submission shit. This is one of the reasons why I'm so against submission. Like, motherfuckers be like, a woman is gonna submit to you, blah, 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 blah. I hate that shit now. I hate that conversation. You feel me? I hate the conversations on submission at this point. I've already talked about it enough in my podcast, but it's just like, it's the delusion of shit. Because I will hear women talk about, I'll submit to a man, but there's no but. Shut the fuck up. There shouldn't be no but. Like, submission means you're relinquishing your shit. I hate that motherfuckers try to euphemize it with me and say that's not what submission means. The fuck dictionary you looking in? Submission means to give up your power. You let a motherfucker put you in an armbar and you tap out. What happened? You submitted to that person's power. You gave up. Your power wasn't strong enough to prevent the armbar from making you tap out. The fuck? But suddenly it's different when it comes to relationships. Suddenly it's different when it's because it sounds good on paper. Oh, I'll submit to a man who can lead. I can submit to a man who's worth submitting to, and you'll never find a man who's worth submitting to. You be wrong, because you know why? You're not supposed to be fucking submitted. You're supposed to be liberated. You don't submit to your man. You are liberated by him. On the other side of that, men, we like submissive women in the beginning. Then that natural essence kicks in and you start hating that shit. She don't think for herself, bro. She asks me too many fucking questions. She don't know how to solve a fucking problem. That's a submissive woman. Shit sounds good on paper. Yeah, man. Women like the one side of it that sounds good. You feel me? Oh, I'll be your peace. I'll care for you. I'll do this. I'll love you. I'll do that. I'll submit. I'll do that and shit. But you get boring. You get boring. And not only do you get boring, you get to the point where I have to do everything for you. Well, you the man. Men's supposed to lead. Where the fuck were you going? So were you lost before you found me? You were just a little stray puppy, just sitting down somewhere. And I happened to see you and said, "Hey, come here." And you came. And after that, you've been with me ever since. That's what the fuck it's like when you submit, because I can't do anything for myself. So I need this being to do for me. You have accepted the fact that you are a child, which now goes into the marriages and shit of old. Marriage was always a business transaction. Don't get the shit twisted. It won't never out of love. You feel me? Women were always submitting to the. That's why you were given from your father to your husband. The fuck? You submit to your father. Now you're gonna submit to this man as you submitted to your father. He ain't your motherfucking father. Shout out real quick, shameless plug. This is why in Soul Frail 3, I have a specific chapter on the 3 types of masculine energy. That's another part that ties into this. We need to know what kind of energies our relationships are supposed to have, at what moments they're supposed to have, and when to turn them on and off. Our intimate relationships, the full dynamic is supposed to be spousal energy, period. Right? However, you cannot dismiss the paternal energy or maternal energy. And you cannot dismiss the fraternal energy and sororal energy. You cannot dismiss those energies. All those energies need to go together. However, we based our relationships because when women submit, chances are they submitted to a paternal energy. Motherfuckers be like, get you an older. Motherfuckers would really tell women to get her an older man or a man who's more mature and more established, because what they're telling you, they don't know that they're saying this. Get you a man with paternal energy, that you can tap into the paternal energy. For you to recognize paternal energy, you have to have experienced paternal energy. Did your father provide the paternal energy that set the template for what paternal energy you're supposed to see? You feel me? On the other side of that, you have fraternal energy. They tell you to stay away from relationships with a motherfucker who's going to come off of, fraternal sorority energy. You feel me? Dudes, we do it too. She ain't my mother. We gravitate towards the maternal energy. That's the energy that we have. However, the initiator of our relationship should be fraternal and sorority energies. You feel me? That friend shit, that brother sister type shit. You feel me? That shit stops. It's crazy as fuck because it's like that's what gets us into the relationship. That's how we're able to go on these dates and how we're able to go zip line and laser tag and all that shit. It's fraternal and sororal energy. Spousal energy has to encompass both of those. The entire being has to be able to be fraternal and sororal, has to be spousal, and has to be maternal and paternal in the relationship together, because there's dynamics to it. We pick one fucking energy and stay there because we don't know that there's other energies to the shit. So, and then we mix the lines. Some motherfuckers want a spousal, and this is when shit get crazy because some motherfuckers want a spousal energy with a paternal energy. You feel me? They gravitate. I've experienced this myself. I have a lot of paternal energy, low key, high key, and mid key. I joke, I play. My thing is, I like to exhibit all of my energies at once. I will simultaneously put my fraternal energy and my paternal energy together. I will teach you something and guide you into something, but I'll play around with it. Hence profane profundity. Like, yo, this shit was a science, bro. Like, I've been doing this shit for a long time without y'all knowing what I was doing. But now y'all know what I'm doing. But the point that I was making with that is that it gets to that. You feel me? You have to be able to put all of these things together. You feel what I'm saying? But we operate solely from how our parental figures operated, or solely from how we think a parental figure is supposed to operate. So everybody's telling us women submit to men. In what world? In what world? This one, motherfucker. No, not this one, because divorce rates wouldn't be so high, and it's women leaving. The women are leaving. The very ones who submitted to this motherfucker don't want to submit no more. What the fuck is the problem? You feel me? Because submission is a form of settling. Don't nobody want to talk about that shit. Submission is a form of settling. You feel me? Now, the hardest part of that is it's not even the hard part. Like I said, we're in an age and we're in a time pocket where men want liberated women. Whether they want to admit it or not. I ain't saying hoes. I ain't saying promiscuous. I ain't saying none of that shit. I'm saying liberated women. And we're also in a space where women want to be liberated. But we still have not broken the conditioning from the shit that we've been put on. You feel what I'm saying? Do you feel what I'm saying? You feel me? This is why nagging women are a problem. Because submissive women shut the fuck up. Like, because you gotta think, like, on some real shit, you gotta shut the fuck up. Like, real shit. I mean that respectfully. Like, if you're gonna be a submissive woman, you shut the fuck up. Every doctrine, every order, every ordinance, everything that submissive women fit in, the doctrine tells them to shut the fuck up in the presence of men. Don't say shit. Low key, I know this is petty. This is petty. I'm not gonna lie. But when I have conversations with religious women and it's starting to get boring or starting to get, I ain't gonna say boring because I mean we're not having regular like relationship type conversations or shit like that, but like just regular conversation. But when it starts to get annoying or starts to get something I don't want to entertain anymore, I simply utter the words, "You're in the presence of a man. You're not supposed to be talking to me." I know it's rude, it's disrespectful, it's misogynist, but you cannot accept submission without accepting the world submission came from. So you kind of got to shut the fuck up when I'm talking. Oh, scene. I have never heard you talk like that about women, blah, 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 blah. I'm talking about the submissive women who already accepted that reality. You have to shut the fuck up in my presence. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's like, you feel me? Every doctrine, the biggest doctrines that we follow, Christianity or Islam or whatever it is, religion teaches you that women submit to men. Both of these doctrines say a woman is not supposed to speak in the presence of a man. You feel me? So you got to shut the fuck up. You can't accept the shit and don't want to accept everything that comes with it. But we in the age now. Women don't want to shut the fuck up. They got something to say. I know women got something to say. God be listening. I be hearing that shit. I'm like, yeah, that shit makes sense. But you can't in one breath be ready to be liberated while at the same time be stuck wanting to be submissive. It don't work. All right. Look. The markets are not a difficult place to understand. All right. You just have to know what you're looking at. And there's 5 things that you need to see before you can make any market entry. First, you need a pocket so you can know which direction the market is going in. Second, you need a pullback so you can get the better price. Third, you need a battlefield so you can see when that market movement is slowing down. Fourth, you need the upper hand so you can see when the market reactivates. And last, you need a final push so you can see the exact moment when it's time to go with the direction you are already moving in. Okay? Of course, there's so much more that has to go into that, and it's not as cut and dry as that. But those are things that I teach in my Mastering the Market course. So if you would like to learn more, please visit IamJustSing.com and check out the Mastering the Market course today. Although it is directed and specialized for Forex, all of the skills, I crafted them to be transferable to any market that you're looking at. So again, visit IamJustSing.com and check out the Mastering the Market course today if you are truly looking to master the market. Oh yeah, and don't forget, while I still got you, you can use promo code QUARANTINE to save over 90% off of the enrollment of the full price of the course. That is QUARANTINE, QUARANTEEN. It don't work. And my brothers, you can't at one breath like, I need me a woman who's going to be blah, 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 blah. This is one of the reasons I'm going to keep it 100 with you. This is one of the reasons I personally feel why Black men date outside of the race. Because those women are comfortable being submissive. Those women are built to be submissive genetically. The sole fact that we Black men, we're already at the upper echelon. We're at the top of the food chain. No funny shit. It's just reality. Just called dominant genetics. It's Mendelian genetics. They've been studying this shit for a long time. Survival of the fittest. Fucking Darwin and his theories. Survival of the fittest means that you are in shape genetically. You feel me? So we don't have to do shit. around them. Just being in our presence makes us tough. Like, you feel me? I know black dudes hood dated white dudes, and the white dude thought he was a gangster. I said, he a bitch. We be slapping this nigga in the back of his fucking head. Like, what are you talking about? Like, they don't know that though. You feel me? Every woman can get the sucker out of a motherfucker, right? But we don't have to take the sucker out when we're not dealing with black women. We just don't. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I've seen it play out on so many different levels. You feel me? Case in point, I'll use this and then I keep it going. You feel what I'm saying? Gucci and Jeezy. Gucci married a black woman. Jeezy married an Asian woman. You feel what I'm saying? Jeezy did some sucker shit. Gucci didn't do no sucker shit. You feel me? Gucci became, they in essence became better people, you know, but Gucci became a different motherfucker because he was with a black woman. Jeezy got to stay the same. You feel me? They're different. They've evolved differently. You feel what I'm saying? That's why it was like, in watching that versus, I'm gonna get back on topic, but in watching that versus, it was like Jeezy couldn't look him in the eye. Jeezy couldn't look him in the eye. A true black woman, she ain't gonna let her man not look another motherfucker in the eye. But a submissive woman's like, yo, you're already black. You don't, like, you're a gangster. Nigga ain't, you feel me? Tis what it is. There's some motherfuckers that's more gangster than other motherfuckers. But the point that I was, making with that is that when we step outside is because we know there's an essence, there's an inner feeling that we know between both of us that women are not supposed to submit. That's where our clashes are coming in. We've broken that shit. Women know. Women know. But you still want, like, we're still caught in the programming. Like, think about it. How you gonna be a submissive woman to a man who's gonna bring the best out of you? You can't submit to that shit because he has to see something. You can't just follow his beck and call and do whatever for. And I get it. I get it. Y'all don't understand submission. So y'all say shit like, that's not submission. Submission is when I'm allowed to be my full feminine self. So you're allowed to be liberated? I'm allowed to be my full feminine self and walk in my whole essence and do all of the things that I do. Ashe, blah, 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 blah. So you mean to be liberated? Then you're not being submissive. You don't even know what the fuck submissive. So what do you have to give up? Now, what do you have to give up then to get all of that shit that you want? And the first words you motherfuckers will utter, and I'm meaning that shit in a respectful way, not disrespectfully calling y'all motherfuckers, y'all know how to talk. But the first thing you utter when you say that you are going to, submit to the man and he's going to bring the best out of you, he can bring the best out of you, you can walk in your full feminine essence, right? The first thing that I hear y'all say every single time is that I want to be liberated, whether you're willing to say it or not. You feel me? You cannot be both. You feel me? That's what the whole liberation is. And I know this seems like I'm completely off topic from where we started. I'm gonna bring it back. Watch me work. But it's in these relationships that these things get kind of tarnished because we lose that. When we're in that relationship or in that involvement, you feel me? There's like you gotta ask women, it's like, do you really want to, like, ask a woman, does she really want to be submissive? Her consciously, she'll say yes. Pay attention to her actions. Pay attention to the subtle shit she do. You feel me? Pay attention to the subtle shit she does. You feel me? Men will say, I want a submissive woman. And they go fuck with hoes. We cheat with the liberated women. Like, we don't cheat with modest women. Look, Derek Jackson is the perfect example of the shit. That nigga didn't get caught with a woman that looked like him when she had that bonnet on. And what was the first thing the women did to her? The first thing the women did to her, they said, well, that's why he cheated. She wearing that bonnet and shit. Y'all don't really like submissive women. Y'all don't like being submissive. That is the proof right there in the motherfucking pudding. Y'all don't like being submissive. Y'all are conditioned into being submissive. That's why y'all relationships don't work. And that's why us as men who don't like, and the men who go the other way, all of these new cliques of men, they need submissive women. Like this whole high value quandary and shit, niggas, I'm a high value motherfucking man because I need a submissive woman. I need a woman to submit to me. Every one of these motherfuckers that's coming to get, they're like, I'm a high value man. I'm by myself as a high value man. You need an undervalued woman. Ooh, nigga, that's a bar. All these high value men need undervalued women because the women that are on that value, it's like you making arguments about them. Those are the women who want to be liberated. You're not gonna be no wife. You can't do this. It's the fuck she can. That's the kind of rider I need. I don't want no bitch made motherfucker. I had to say made because if I would have said bitch, then motherfuckers would have thought it was like, I don't want no bitch made woman in my life. You can't submit to me. You won't submit to me. You have no desire to submit to you. You will be liberated, motherfucker. I need a partner. I need a Clyde. I need a Bonnie. I'm Clyde. I need a motherfucker who's gonna ride with my straps. You feel me? We ain't gonna have no straps in the car. But you feel me? This is what I'm saying. Like, I need that. I need that. I know I can't have a submissive woman. I've been saying that shit for years. And I happen to know that every one of my brothers can't have no submissive woman either. Every one of my sisters, they don't want to be submissive women. But they're like, what else do I do? I don't know if there's anything more. All I know is submission. Has submission worked? I said that for the dramatic effect because if submission worked, the divorce rates wouldn't be so high. But the divorce rates wouldn't be so high because a part of that submission brought us to the monotonous shit in the relationship. See how I did that? See how I did that? It brought us to the monotonous shit in the relationship that took away the spontaneity. So we no longer have a desire to say, I want to eat off your plate. Metaphorically, of course. Physically too. But metaphorically, of course, it's like I no longer want to eat off your plate. It's the same thing every single time. Not only that, I cooked it. I cooked what I want you to allow me to taste. I tasted it when I was cooking the shit. I don't want this shit no more. I don't want the same shit brought to me every single day. And I get it. We have Taco Tuesdays. You feel me? You have spaghetti Fridays, leftover Wednesdays, whatever. I don't know what the fuck y'all do. But it gets routine. And not a good routine. It gets monotonous. It's dry. It's trash. Like it's the moment when the liberation stops. Nobody's being liberated anymore. Now everybody's being caged and captivated. Like the same girlfriend that I ended up, the same girlfriend that put me on to the, okay, eat at this different place at school because this is what you like, ultimately was the same girlfriend who uttered the words to me. She said, when I found you, it was like finding a puppy that I didn't want anybody else to have. So I just kept it to myself. I was like, that's why you did that shit like that? I was like, yeah, I didn't want you going here. I didn't want you doing that because I didn't want anybody else to see you. Nigga, that's crazy as fuck. But that's reality when the oneness becomes the same. Because that osmosis kicks in and you really don't want to do this shit anymore. You feel me? That's when the shit gets crazy and it gets problematic. But then it's like everybody still wants that. Everybody still wants that liberation. And that relationship was about submission. Like we even had a conversation where she once told me, she was like, I'm comfortable. These were her exact words. She said, I'm comfortable with being a submissive woman because I don't want to do shit. I laughed at first because I thought it was a joke. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't no motherfucking joke. And I know quite a few women who think like that. I'm getting with this man. I submit so I don't have to do shit. I think he's going to do everything for me. Ideally, that's what you would like. But you got to get out of these fairy tales. Disney fucked y'all up. You got to get out of these fucking fairy tales and start getting back into the real fucking world. You feel me? Men ain't gonna like that shit. You feel me? You know why? Because we want to be liberated. We want liberated women. But we're programmed to only have women that'll submit to us. Oh, she's modest. She stay in the house. She just like, this is why one of the biggest quandaries we do as dumb motherfuckers, like, and I'm gonna say dumb motherfuckers, I used to do this shit too. Way back in the day. You feel me? We'll go to the club, meet a chick, and then get mad that she's in the club. Nigga, that's where you found her. The fuck? Like, you can't get mad at, I'm not calling women creatures or animals or anything like that. I'm speaking on an ecosystem level. You can't find something in its habitat, remove it from its habitat, and gets mad when it goes to its habitat. Wow, I like this habitat. I like you in your habitat. I just don't want you in your habitat. I like you. No, motherfucker, that's where you found him. That's the mission. Come out your habitat for me and stay here. Taking you off the board. Like, fuck no. Fuck no. The problem is people don't have enough. The reason why this shit gets problematic because a lot of people don't have enough confidence to be liberated, to operate from a liberal relationship. And I don't mean liberal from the motherfucking left wing and shit with fucking all these other motherfuckers who talking that goofy shit. These motherfuckers are weird. I'm sorry. Like, I can't, like, the delusion gets crazier and crazier and crazier as the days go on. I'm like, am I in a fucking Twilight Zone? But I mean, in a liberating relationship. You feel what I'm saying? In a liberating relationship. Somebody to make you better. Don't make me comfortable. Comfort feels good, but it begins to feel bad. You feel me? Comfortable is a good word, word-wise. You feel me? Another word that runs with comfortability is atrophy. When you get comfortable in a chair, when you get comfortable somewhere, you start to sit or whatever it is, your body immediately begins to atrophy. People don't pay attention to atrophy because atrophy takes so much, they think it takes so much longer. No, it's a baby process. It's a baby process. And over the time, the atrophy fucks you up. Like when people start losing dexterity and musculature in their backs because they stop working out and then they start getting a hump, that shit don't just happen. You don't just snap your fingers and say, oh, that motherfucker's 60 years old and now I got a hump in his back. That shit started when he was 32. You feel me? It's atrophy. It was comfort. It was the atrophy developed because of the comfortability. You feel me? Atrophy is when muscles deteriorate. So what happens when our relationships atrophy? Because we're in a pocket where we don't want to eat off each other's plate no more. That's the real reality of it. We don't want to eat off each other's plate anymore. And then when we do are able to eat off each other's plate, it's so far gone. Like, think about, like, motherfuckers be having lunch dates at work. They go on their lunch break and they eat better shit than they eat at home with better motherfuckers. I don't mean like your significant other ain't shit, but I mean the energy is more vibrant. You're a lot more happier. I'll never forget this moment that I realized I was in a miserable relationship. I had two lab partners. I was in my physics class. I had two lab partners. One of them, both of these women were very beautiful. Like, don't even get me wrong. Like, in their own right, like they were very beautiful women. And I would have tried to plug both of them in the time had I been single, but I wasn't. You feel what I'm saying? But when I knew I was in a miserable relationship, look, this is when I knew. We coming out of physics class, right? Because the teacher, he'll give us the assignment, you know what I'm saying? He'll go over the notes for the day, then he'll just give us assignments, let us do what we're gonna do. It's college, you feel me? So we breaking this shit down. But my lab partners, we all said it the same thing. You feel what I'm saying? And we played like we taught each other at the same time. So it was like all fraternal energy. I didn't know what this was called, but this is fraternal fraternal and sororal energy playing together, right? Did the bell ring? No, we didn't have bells in college. I'm tripping. Fuck. The time was it was like the 50-minute time, like 150 or some shit like that. So we all get up and we walking out. My girl at the time, she knew where my physics class was at. Because I told her, but she had to come tell me something. So she was just gonna wait until I came. And she was gonna wait until my class was over. She knew my schedules and shit. So she was gonna come by. She knew all the classrooms and everything. When I realized I was in a miserable relationship, it was like I'm walking out with my homies and shit. These are my lab partners. Beautiful women, but it's still fraternal for me. So I hope Sabros, it was at the time it was sorority for them, but it was that energy. And we walking out laughing and playing like as it was a joke. We did something crazy, but we playing. Soon as I lock eyes on my girl, it sucked all the life out of that. I was just like, yo, what's up? What you doing here? I get it. My brothers, I can get it, but that is one of those situations where it's like the shit becomes monotonous. And I said that because, you can be out eating with somebody, having a more enjoyable time and, being in a different pocket. You feel me? And you don't feel as if you're in a cage. You feel me? And again, like I say, it goes back to us having to eat off each other's plates again. You feel me? One of the dopest realities is that when you come to terms, when you find somebody that's like, y'all can bring the best out of each other, you feel me? Y'all can keep that spontaneity. It's like, okay, I got to do this now, here, this way, that way, this way. It's like, nah, that shit makes the reality. Like, that's why sex is good, because sex is spontaneous. A lot of people will be wondering, like, women, this is why women be, this gonna seem fucked up, but look, I don't want y'all to go out there and be hoes. Please don't. Please don't be out here, just busting it wide open. But this is why women start busting it wide open now. They call it embracing sexuality, but no, ma'am, you're being a hoe. It's okay. You feel me? Because embracing sexuality is beyond just sex. It's creativity as well. It's different shit. That's sacral chakra energy. Shout out to Soul 3 because information is in there if the ladies want to read it too. But it's that sacral energy. You feel me? So we think it's just being horny or whatever the case may be. But as men, we are just slanging it. But women aren't. So this is why our sex lives are spontaneous. We make them this way. Women's sex lives are monotonous. This is why we nut frequently and women don't nut at all. Because and I'm not gonna say women don't nut at all. The hoes be getting nuts. You feel me? And I'm using hoes for dramatic effect because I know how women be talking to, oh, she a hoe, she this, that, and the third, this, that. She flirt too much. Y'all, hey, this is why I was joking. I'm like, y'all can roast pick me's, but pick me's get picked. God damn. Pick me's get picked. You feel me? Pick me's get fucking picked. God damn. Hey, but look. I'm gonna hold it. Real rap though. Like that spontaneity is like women create a sex life off of monotony. You feel what I'm saying? Most women don't know what make them nut, except the vibrator and shit. But that's different. I'm not talking about like mechanical shit from vibrations. That's shit is humanly impossible to do what a vibrator does. But that's the only way that a woman can get a nut because she's not in tune with herself. How do you become in tune with yourself? You gotta have experience. I'm not saying be out here fucking everything. But in your sex, and this is what it is to embrace sexuality. Y'all be embracing sex. When you embrace sexuality, you are willing to go certain places where you think, okay, I think I will feel good with this with a single person. Y'all just be out here fucking anybody. My brothers too. Yeah, don't be forgetting like we started this shit. That's why they want to do it. You guys make it look so cool. So dangerous. The fuck? Like, no, why do y'all want to do that shit? That puzzled me for a long time. When women decided they wanted to be hoes, I didn't get it. I was like, this ain't the life you want to live. We don't like this shit. We don't like this shit. It's fun. It's spontaneous. But there's nothing there to say stop. Never. Never. Y'all be, I know homegirls now that's like, we're in our 30s and shit, right? They are now getting a team. I've been having a team since I was 14, 15 years old. It's just not fun anymore. Like, keep niggas in rotation. Man, I had the hoes in rotation. It was like, starts to get hectic. Too much spontaneity get hectic. You feel what I'm saying? But the purpose that I'm saying with that is that is the indicative piece that women now want to be liberated. They don't want to be submissive anymore. They can't. Submissive was never in your blood. You were never meant to be submissive. You feel me? You were never meant to be submissive. You were never meant to be controlled. You were meant to be unleashed. My brothers, Women were never meant to submit to us. And we know that shit. We hate submissive women. I ain't met a dude alive who actually we tolerable. We tolerate them. I've never met a dude alive who actually loves a submissive woman. I don't. I haven't. Well, yeah, my wife submits to me. She cooks, she cleans, whatever. Talk that shit. You don't like her. You don't like her. We got 40, 50, 60 generate. We got 40-year, 50-year, 60-year marriages that have lasted. There's like, yo, you gotta get through some shit because daddy gonna step out. Nigga, guess you ain't really like submission, motherfucker. You needed some excitement. You needed a motherfucker who wanted to be liberated. You feel me? A motherfucker who want to be liberated. My brothers, take a moment to think about the times you've cheated. Think about the times you've cheated. Was the woman not everything opposite to what your woman was? You feel me? My sisters, if you ever been caught in the love triangle, entanglements, whatever the fuck y'all call them these days, you feel what I'm saying? Ask yourself why you cheated with that dude. You feel me? The dude you cheated with. He brought excitement to your life, didn't he? Mm, that submission won't work and you needed to be liberated. Of course, you got to pay the consequences for doing dumb shit. For shit you never prepared for, men and women. Y'all seen, what was the movie, the Tyler Perry John, where I think I wanted to name say her Jessie Smollett little sister or older sisters. I don't know. It's sister Journey Smollett. She was in it with the Tyler Perry movie with the crazy dude or the kid who ended up giving her AIDS. Her husband, she submitted to him. They graduated from high school. They went to high school together. She love. In a matter of moments, she needed to be liberated, and the nigga was able to liberate her, smash that fast. She was willing to throw away her entire. No, she wasn't willing. She threw away her entire relationship to be liberated. Her entire submissive relationship, she needed to be liberated. Mm, mm, mm. Men be cheating and don't know why. So we say. It just happened. No, I'm tired of a submissive woman. That song, Not Gonna Cry by Mary J. Blige, is so powerful, but it's so revealing at the same time. I was your lover and your secretary, working every day of the week. Was at the job when no one else was there, helping you get on your feet. You were a submissive woman. You were a submissive woman. There was no excitement. There was no spontaneity. There was nothing to keep me fluid anymore. Which is cool if that's what you do. But infidelity is directly correlated to submission. I'm just saying. This is why it's now we in the point of, a lot of woke motherfuckers, yo, as men, we're just naturally polygamous. No, we not, bro. No, we not, bro. Nobody can argue me with that. Like, I don't, as somebody who's played all levels of this game, you can't tell me that we're naturally polygamous. We're not. We're not. We make justifications. Oh, well, why do you think we got an abundance of semen? I can break that down biologically. Well, why you think we have so much energy? We ain't got that much energy that we got. We can't even make one woman get the orgasm she's supposed to have. And we getting random, like we fucking like rabbits. Like, imagine you fucking 8, 9 chicks and ain't none of them nothing, nigga. You really the dog? Like, you really the man? No. So we like, okay, I'll go poly. I'm gonna be poly because men are supposed to be this way. Now I got 2 of them. Don't mean shit. Don't mean shit. Now you just had 2 women to submit to you. Because that's what you really like. You're not gonna be with 2. And this is what I'm saying. Because off the other side of that, there's not many men who quote unquote will consider themselves alphas, will consider themselves dominant. There's not many men who will submit, who allow themselves to be in a polygamous relationship. Polygamy is when is one man, multiple women. But a polygamist is one woman, multiple men. Not many motherfuckers gonna be in that shit. That's one of the reasons why I don't fuck with polygamy. Because I'm like, I would have to grant her the same access. Fuck no. Fuck no. It ain't got shit to do with insecurity. None of that shit is logic, bro. I'm not about to, like, What the fuck kind of shit is that? The odds of her really finding that spontaneity outside of me, fuck it. You feel what I'm saying? But I need to be able to be in tune with that on the one-on-one first to know, hey, baby girl, uh, this ain't what we do. We can move on. You feel what I'm saying? But now we're tied into that. You feel me? Polygamy, it's people are trying to push that like it's the real thing. No, it's not. You just put a title to the fact that you you just put a title to your lack of satisfaction. Sounds good. You just can't be satisfied by one person. You feel me? I get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. As somebody who's like sh- shit. You feel me? I was a polygamous motherfucker. I just didn't have titles technically. I was fucking like multiple girls in a week at a time. Then I became monogamous and I realized which one was harder. I realized which one was actual work, which one was real. Like, you feel me? And this is why I'm like, yo, we're not born this way. We're not born monogamous. However, our relationships are fucked up because we're not born. We're not born to be, maybe that's what it is. We're not born to be around submissive women. That's why we need multiple submissive women to offset the submission we don't really like. You feel me? Shit weird, shit goofy. But, then it's like, what level of submission you got to be on to where you gonna submit to a man who already got another woman in the cut? All right, Barbara and Shirley. But nah, I'm tying it back because this goes into the levels of how workplace romances work and all of these things go and coincide. Because, like I was talking about the example, like the submissive woman that I was with sucked the life out of me. But the liberated women that, we were vibing on, like, it's like, God damn, the fuck? Because it's like that submissive woman needs you for everything. People don't want to talk about that shit. As my brothers, I'm not gonna talk about it here. I'm just gonna mention it, but I'm gonna have to do a podcast episode about that. My brothers, we had like we scared to talk about the shit. We don't really like submissive women. And with submissive women, just like, yo, let me be submissive to you. No, no, no. Fuck out my face. I don't like that shit. As men, we can't say that shit because it's like, you supposed to get you a woman that's gonna submit, that ain't gonna be out here in the streets, they ain't gonna be out here doing this shit. Like, you need a harmony. I was gonna say equal, but we're not equal. Men and women ain't equal, but you need a harmony, a resonating harmony. That's what I'm gonna call this shit. You need a resonating harmony. That's what brings out the best in you. You feel me? Love Don't Cost a Thing was it was a kind of a good movie. You feel me? A while and out, they joke on Nick Cannon for that shit. But Love Don't Cost a Thing was a real good movie. Paris was with the basketball player, the star player, whatever. She submitted to him. It was like, yo, you're going to be doing the cheating and everything. I put up with your bullshit while I'm here, blah, 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 blah. Right? She was the cheerleader. She was so superficial because she was with the basketball player. She submitted to the basketball player. So much so that he felt comfortable enough to say, I'm willing to give you another chance to take me back because you fucked up. Although he was the one who cheated, whatever the case may be. And then she had Alvin Johnson who liberated her. That motherfucker, he knew that she did poetry and shit. She was trying to write a song. He took her to a whole lounge and shit and was, you feel me? He liberated her ass. And at the end of the movie, who did she choose? She walked right away from Julian and was like, I don't need a meal ticket. Some shit like that. I don't need to be submissive. You feel me? And then one guy with Albert Johnson, the regular man, who liberated her. You feel me? On the other side of that, Alvin Johnson thought he needed popularity. So it's like, yo, let me get the girls and let me get all of this. And it's like the women that'll do everything for you. You feel me? What the nigga say? Somebody can't bring sand to a beach, baby. Like, you feel what I'm saying? It's like, we ain't no. It's like, so we rocking today. No, we ain't rocking today. The fuck, we at the beach. Nigga, it's senior dish day. You feel me? And he got to see, I don't really like this shit. I like the fact that I can liberate a woman. I don't like the fact that women gonna submit to me. And all of that goes back in full circle to the dynamic of we can maintain that spontaneity because we got to see the liberation from the jump. That's why you got to stay off my plate. You feel me? That's why you gotta stay off my plate. Because low key, we don't want that. We don't want the dynamics of all of that encompasses. You feel what I'm saying? Because you're an individual, I'm an individual, and we're gonna come together and be individuals that work together. But it's levels. It's levels and layers to the shit. Levels and layers that a lot of people don't want to anticipate. A lot of people don't want to contemplate. And a lot of people really kind of just don't want to deal with, you know? So we take the path of least resistance. You feel me? The path of least resistance is submission. You feel me? The path of most friction is liberation, but it's the most rewarding. You feel me? You know how liberated it is to know that, okay, this is something as simple as food, but it applies to so many different things. You feel me? It can apply to so many different things. Just the sole fact that somebody's willing to taste your food because you guys have different plates, but you're in the same moment. You feel what I'm saying? Different plates, but at the same restaurant, same table, enjoying each other. Different plates. That is powerful. Because everybody talks this shit. What do you bring to the table? We so worried about the fucking table, we're not worried about who's cooking the meals. We love to talk about what I can bring, but what can you do? What can you create? You feel me? I reached the point now where I look at relationships like, I no longer be like, yo, what can you bring to the table? You know what I'm saying? My thing is, what can you help me create so we can sit on this table that we are sitting at? You feel me? Everybody's on some, yo, what can you bring to the table? What can we collaborate on in the kitchen? Since we're using table metaphors and everybody, yo, just get a seat at the table, make sure you bring your own food or whatever the case may be. Okay, I get it. But now that's the next level to the shit. It starts off, I want to taste your food. Let me taste it. Have some of mine. Cool. So now I'm seeing where your palate is. Now we cook. And now we're like, yo, this is one of my favorite meals. This is one of my favorite meals. Now let's bring that to the table. Because do you know what we're bringing to our table? We're bringing our culture. We're bringing our experience. We're bringing everything, and we're embracing it within one another. That's the only way we're going to thrive in a relationship healthily. Because you got to be liberated. You feel what I'm saying? It has to be the liberation to make you say, this works for me. This is going to work for me. I'm liberated enough to be spontaneous. Some motherfuckers ain't liberated enough to be spontaneous because they're too submissive to be that. Oh, that's a bar. What I'm about to say is a bar. That wasn't the bar. Motherfuckers be too liberated to be spontaneous. I mean, motherfuckers ain't liberated enough. No. I fucked it up. God damn it. That shit would have been flowing if I would have just said the shit instead of saying, ooh, that's what I get. But motherfuckers can't be spontaneous because they ain't liberated. And because they're so submissive and tied to submissive culture and submissive mentality that they become mundane. Shit become mundane, it become trash. It'd be like, you feel me? Shit gets crazy. It's like relationships ain't supposed to work in that regard. You got to realize, like, what's the best way in which you can successfully eat off each other's plate forever and always have something different. And don't forget to take a moment to go get your exclusive merchandise from Just Scenes merch. At Just Scenes, each piece is specifically crafted with positive imagery and symbolism. From the titles and designs to the descriptions, each style gives you something to feel great about. With everything from hoodies and tees to coffee mugs and tote bags, we have something for the entire family. So be sure to get yours today. Find us on Instagram at Just Scenes merch and get your merchandise right now. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Like I said, that conversation, we didn't talk about what I just broke down in here. But that conversation prompted this. But we did have some good dialogue in that motherfucker because it was like, I think that's a missing component out of relationships because it's a misinterpreted relationship. Like, I know so many people that keep getting in relationships, getting divorced, and like, why isn't it working for you? You feel me? Men don't want submissive women. Women don't want to submit no more. I don't give a fuck how y'all want to look at it. Bro, y'all can argue with me all the time. Y'all wouldn't be single. You feel me? If your logic worked, you wouldn't be single or your relationships wouldn't be failures. Now, granted, every relationship that ends, just because just because the relationship works doesn't mean it's gonna last forever. That's where a lot of people fuck up. You feel me? Did you learn from that shit? Did you grow? Did it make you a better person? Or did it break you the fuck down? Most submissive relationships break motherfuckers down. You feel me? A woman is like, oh, I submit to a man, but you a burdensome motherfucker, yo. Don't want to talk about that shit. Your man can't do nothing right. It's always a task list. He got to do fucking everything. You can't do shit for yourself. Nobody want to talk about that shit. You feel me? I need a woman that's gonna submit, but you ain't got shit for her to thrive on. You feel me? I need a woman that's gonna stay in the house. Well, entertain her. You got to be all that shit when you take it away from her, motherfucker. And you can't just give her kids. Let the kids be your entertainment. No, fuck that. You're taking everything away from them. This is why when I hear the old women say, you feel me? I got my kids though. That's what he gave you kids for, to entertain your ass, because he couldn't do it no more. Because you submitted to him. I lost myself. I gave so much of myself away. I used to want to do this, but I got my kids though. Cause the nigga needed you to be entertained while he was out there doing his thing because you submitted to him. You feel me? We in a whole new age, y'all. We in a whole new age, a whole new era. That shit don't work no more. But we steady trying to make that shit work. A lot of us won't come to terms with it and be honest with the shit. You feel me? Women are not being honest, saying, I do not want to be submissive. This is how you know shit's built off tolerance. Women literally utter the words, I will submit to a man. I ain't never met a motherfucker say I wanted to submit to a man. They said, no, I will. Contingent upon. It's a condition. Submission is conditional. That means it's not default. That means if something is conditional, that means it's not natural. That means it's not really what you're supposed to be doing. The fuck? It's not that difficult. You feel me? Why do men stray and why do they get aborted? Because they deal with submissive women. Look, I'm going to keep it 100 with you before I start wrapping this up. Men only try to stabilize themselves with submissive women. You feel me? But our deepest desire is for the liberated woman. It's always been that way. Always. Always. Think about this shit. Niggas. Niggas will say money over bitches. Niggas will say money over bitches, right? As if these bitches ain't shit. Fuck these hoes. All of that shit. Money over bitches. They're talking about submissive women. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. You know why? Because they will go to the club and put all their money over bitches. Strippers ain't even got to fuck them, suck them, or nothing. Just got to shake a little ass. They be throwing bands in front of them. And they not submitting. These are the liberated women. I get it, it's sexual and shit, but the psyche it takes to be a stripper. Like, I know strippers. Like, you feel me? I know a couple homies. They homies, but and they don't strip no more. But I know a couple strippers, like personally, on a personal level. The psychology, the mentality, and the psyche that is tied to stripping. You's a liberated motherfucker. You are a liberated motherfucker on some other shit. You are liberated because to do that shit, not only do it, but to be sober and do it. You feel me? Most strippers be looking up in the beginning. Like, most strippers be looking up, they be high. because they can't function with it. I get it. It's like, oh, that's because that's what they're not supposed to be doing. That's this and the third. How do you know? Words from a submissive woman who would go and take a pole dancing class. Who inspired you? The liberated woman or the submissive woman? You didn't learn how to pole dance from fucking the woman with the turtleneck. You don't even like turtlenecks because of her. But back to my brothers. You feel me? We know we don't like the submissive woman. But we also know in our program to believe that we have to control the women. This is why we want to take them out of the habitats we find them in. Submit to me. Bend to my will. Fuck no. Fuck no. Stop thinking that shit. Yo, I promise you, yo, you get more out of life, you get more out of relationships when you liberate your women. I say it all the time, bro. I'm big on sharing what's on my plate with a woman. All times. Do you feel me? Because after I share what's on my plate, she gonna show me her plate. Say, have some. You feel me? Would you care for some? Would you like some? You feel me? We get so geeked up on, you feel me? Oh, she cooks for me. That's because you can't cook for yourself. See, people don't understand the quandary for submission. You feel me? Women, you submit to a man who can't do for himself. Ain't that some shit? That's what used to happen. Like, I want my food hot and steamy. Man, if I want my food hot and steamy, I'm gonna make that shit. You feel me? But there was a time when that wasn't the case. But even with that, it's like our culture wasn't designed for that. Well, it was designed for that, but our culture has not been assimilated into that yet. Like, we haven't transitioned out. The culture that, y'all, the old way is gone. I don't know why y'all don't see it. Maybe it's the rat race. Maybe it's the repetitive shit that's happening. The old way doesn't work. It died in the 90s. Tupac affirmed it. The old way wasn't working, so it's on us to do what we got to do to survive. But I still see no changes. I get it, the police brutality, like he was talking about that shit, but there's another aspect to it too. Look at our relationships. That way don't work. You feel me? That way don't work because we thinking it has to all be based off submission and shit. And then we lose the spontaneity. Like, we start eating off each other's plates, yo. And then we eat the same thing for dinner. So now I no longer want to eat off your plate. I'm eating what you eating already. The fuck? What kind of shit is that? You feel me? Yo, taste one of the tomatoes in my salad. The same tomato you got in yours? The fuck? No. It's stupid. You feel me? Now I get it. Some people gonna have to adjust and some shit and be like, well, in my house, we cook at one time. We don't do what you do. Do what you do. But I'm just saying, like, I'm big on adaptation. I'm big on breaking cycles of insanity. This shit don't work. This shit don't work. We watched it fail. A lot of us are products of failed parenting. But you know why we're products of failed parenting first? And I don't mean like, a lot of time people think failed parenting is simply because, oh, the motherfucker went to jail or whatever the case may be, or the motherfucker dropped out or whatever. You feel me? It's not failed parenting. Failed parenting is when, I ain't gonna get into that because this is a whole different episode. But a lot of us we succumb to failed parenting. But how did we succumb to failed parenting? Because the relationship was already failed. Motherfuckers had babies on a failing relationship. You dig what I'm saying? But it was good. And no, it was never good. That's why I led in divorce. That's why I led in a separation. The fuck? You couldn't submit enough women couldn't submit enough to the man, and the man wasn't able to liberate her enough. Like, and the it just didn't work. It wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to, but I got my kids. That's really all the submission is supposed to bring you. You feel me? And then now, as men, we get called simps. We get all kind of shit when we actually try to liberate women. I don't give a fuck if a motherfucker call me and say, I'll beat the fuck out of them. Simp that, nigga. The fuck? But anyway, the purpose is like, that shows we don't have to do shit for submissive women. I've been with all types of women. It's not a bragging thing or anything like that, but I'm telling you that I understand the dynamics. I understand submissive women. I understand liberated women. I understand sexually free women. I understand carefree women. I understand careless women. I understand women on a whole different level because I've experienced a lot of women. I ain't just fuck them. I experienced them too. You feel me? Got my dick wet, but I stayed in the space to, yo, let me really understand you. Why you think like this? How y'all think I understand about fraternal energy, spousal energy, paternal energy, maternal energy? Like, I know these things for a reason because I've experienced them. And it was revelations given to me, like, oh, that's what that is. But the best relationships that I always have were for the women that I liberated. The worst relationships were for the women that submitted to me. The most chaotic were the ones who were trying to submit to me but yearning to be liberated. And as I was liberating them, they kept submitting more and more, and we clashed. I didn't like the shit, and they knew it. Our energies just didn't work. None of that shit works like that anymore because it's done. Y'all just ain't seen it yet. You feel me? Y'all just ain't seen it yet. It's levels to this shit. And you got to stop seeing the levels that fail. What kind of shit is that to where it's like we keep getting encouraged to go down the same path that ain't work? I got motherfuckers telling me, yo, go to college and shit, get a good, like, I did it. You see, I'm an entrepreneur now, nigga. The fuck? Fuck was I supposed to do? You feel me? And now they keep pitching that shit. Shit don't work. The same motherfuckers that told us that, they don't want to admit that they still paying out college loans. They still in debt. They still didn't get like, I'm like, y'all don't see the issue, do you? Like, yeah, entry level was 30,000. When I started, that was 30 fucking years ago. It's 33,000 now. Nigga. In 30 years, they gave you a three and 30-year raise. In 30 years, they gave entry level a $3,000 raise. 30 years. But everything else increased exponentially. You dig? The old way is dead, bro. Sis. All y'all. But specifically, when you're looking at the old way, I want to talk about the relationships. Like, that's just dead. Courting, yeah, you got to court. You got to do all of that shit, dating, all that shit. But date with the intention of seeing the individual and learning them and being liberated, being a liberal situation, a liberated situation. I hate that I keep saying liberal because they fucked that word up. But being a liberated situation, liberated circumstance, not in a submissive pace. Like that's why somebody has to take control. You feel me? Somebody's gonna try to take control, and you ain't supposed to submit. Like y'all can argue. I told you I'll go the distance with this argument because I haven't been proven wrong yet. Every time a motherfucker tell me some shit, oh, women are supposed to submit, some more bullshit comes out where a submissive woman do some fucked up shit. Or a submissive woman gets fucked over by a man on some shit. Like I said, the Derrick Jackson shit, she was the epitome of submissive. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. His wife was the epitome of submissive. Who did he cheat on her with? Bad bitches. And motherfucker was like, see, the dudes was like, see, we told you ain't shit. Do you know why we was able to recognize that shit without actually putting words to what was happening? We was able to recognize because we know, man, you don't like submissive women. You don't like them good, wholesome girls. Don't nobody like that shit. We like that shit for the presentation so we can bring it home to mommy. Everybody so-called want a lady in the streets, but a freak in the sheets. I ain't gonna hold you. I want a freak all the time. A Dina Howard type shit. But nah. And you can have a freak all the time that nobody knows is a freak. Motherfuckers miss that shit. Trust me, yo. I say a good 50, 60%, maybe even 70% of the sexual partners that I had were freaks like a motherfucker, but nobody knew it. They didn't exhibit it, but they were comfortable being that. And you wouldn't have known unless you got to know them. I got to know them oh, you freaky. You my type. I fucks with you, yo. I fucks with what you bringing to the table. But it all can dissolve a little bit because if she thinks she's supposed to be submissive, it's like, now that I look back in hindsight, when some of the women, like, why didn't we work? Because you were submissive. I didn't know it then. I didn't know it then. I used to have this thing like if I fuck a woman too early, I don't want her no more. I didn't realize why I was saying that. Because on one level, I'm thinking, oh, she a hoe. But nah, it's because she submitted to me. Because I knew I had got to such a point with fucking that it was almost like snap of the fingers type shit. Like it was really, really unhealthy. I ain't even gonna lie. It was really, really unhealthy. Like I would go somewhere and just I remember I met this one woman. Now I ain't gonna say woman because we was kids. I was 15 at the time. And I taught her into giving me some head the first time I met her. Submission. Like you got certain energies that you can. I don't like that. So I don't like that shit. Because a woman built off of submissive energy is likely, you feel what I'm saying? To do what the fuck ever. And a man who likes women, like that's ego boosting. Like I stopped liking that shit. It's like, damn, you feel me? I had to like the girlfriend I had in undergrad, we probably would never have been together if I wouldn't have had my own rule. I said, I'm not fucking you until at least 1 month after we've been together. And we were talking for a good 4 or 5 months. Then we got together and it's like her homies kept saying, oh, he's gay. He's not gonna fuck you. No, you just don't understand. If I fuck you now, I'm gonna leave you alone. Because you gave it to me too easy. And I realized that it's about submission. You feel me? And I've learned that over these years. Like women to get to a point where it's like when a woman, I've learned like when a woman, when she feels safe and secure, she feels she has to give you her ass. Not like ass, but like she feels that she can give it up to you. You feel me? Like when you put in the work, like the fuck? That's submission. That's submissive shit. Like, and then they get mad like, yo, I be fucking him good, I be sucking him good, and he still did me like that because you submitted. The fuck? Like, you feel me? One of the dopest dynamics, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. And this is the epitome of what I seen, of what this whole episode was about, was Jamie Foxx and Fancy. In their relationship, she never submitted to him. And he never lost his desire for her because of that. How many women throughout the season did Jamie date? Even a couple of fancy friends, and it was just like he dated them, he fucked them, or whatever the case may be, and that was it. But with Fancy, she never submitted to him. You feel me? And he helped liberate her, low key, in many regards. You feel me? And that's why she didn't work with Silas. Everybody, oh, why was she so? Because it was cliche for her to submit to Silas. Silas ain't who liberated her, but she wouldn't submit. She wasn't a submitting type of person. That's why their relationship was it was tolerable, but it never went anywhere. You feel me? But it went somewhere with Jamie. They've been showing us for so long, and I'm about to wrap this up in my stomach growling. They've been showing us for so long that relationships aren't supposed to be about submission, but we ain't been listening. We just ain't been listening. And sticking with the Jamie Foxx thing, I'm gonna use this because now it really ties into it. There was an episode where him and Fancy went out to eat because he was like, "I'm trying to impress you," whatever the case may be. But there was a liberating moment in that they went out to a fancy restaurant. What was it? I can't think of what the name of the restaurant is or show, but they went to this restaurant. I never forget this episode because I remember when Jamie was like, yo, these prices are, I can't afford to pay attention. But they ate or whatever the case may be. And she was like, so how we gonna pay? She was like, so when they brought the bill out, he said, oh, go to the bathroom. And they did a dine and dash. Now, I get it. Most women are, no, that's wrong. You need to have the money to pay, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you want to be liberated. Who's to say he didn't have the money? Who to say just say, hey, let's just do this shit just because it's fun? This is fraternal and sororal energy we about to play with. It always doesn't have to be paternal and maternal energy. Let's have fun. You feel me? Let's dip our spousal energy into this vein and have fun. You feel me? Oh, nah, I can't look at him like that because he's a broke nigga. He's this, that, and the third. Or he's a motherfucker that can invigorate your life. You ever dined and dashed before? You know how your heart races and shit and how it feels so good? It's just like, yo, feel me? You feel me? I'm a respectable dine and dasher if I got to do it. I'll let you go out first. I'm like, look, hit the door. I got you. Like hit the door. I'm not gonna leave you at the table and be like, yo, I'm about to dine and dash. Like, no, I'm gonna get the head start, get the car ready. I'm gonna meet me at the car. Here go the keys. You feel me? Like what you gonna do? Just go. You feel me? It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Liberation. It feels good. You don't do it often, but sometimes it's what it is. And so when he did that with Fancy, it was a dine and dash. And the the way in which she expressed it, the invigoration afterwards was like, oh my gosh, I had never did it before. You feel me? Women don't like to be submissive. They love being liberated. Trust me. I know about this one. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it there, yo. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And let's start our kids off early. Let's not do what has been conditioned at us for generations on. Like, let's start to teach our kids about the different types of energies for maternal, sororal, spousal, and all of these to know which energy they're exhibiting. But let's set the tone now for our little girls to stop being submissive little girls and our little boys to stop desiring submissive women. Both being an intention for liberation. That's where every direction, every relationship, the direction was going. I get it. Oh, men are supposed to lead. Okay, motherfucker, but you got to know where you going. The fuck? I'm leading you the wrong way. Oh, women be mad at that shit when they get led the wrong way, but you didn't know where you was going. Whose fault is that? You feel me? I'm going uptown. You're supposed to be going downtown, and you want me to lead you. That's your fault if you end up uptown and you don't get the down. I had to be somewhere by 5 o'clock. It's already 6:30, and I'm already. Ain't nobody tell you to ride with me. I told you I was going uptown. What the fuck you thought we was going to U-turn or some shit? You thought I was going to detour and drop you off first? And no. You got to be going where somebody else is already going. We need to teach our babies that, especially our little girls. Give them the nuggets now to know that you got power in that situation too. You got power in that dynamic too, and you're supposed to use it. Yes, a man can lead you, but you have to already know where you're going. You feel me? Personal experience, I've dealt with a lot of tag-alongs. You feel me? Oh, you're a leader. You can lead. I'm going this way. You are not going the way I'm going. You want to go. You just want to be at my destination. You don't want to go the way I want to go. You just want to be at my destination and don't know what it takes to get there. You feel me? But then now you become a tag-along because you can't contribute anything to the situation. Submissive shit. My brothers, we got to start pouring into our little boys. Stop looking for women who don't push you, who don't help you, who don't give you the desire to bring something out of them and out of yourself. Too many men who fuck with submissive women don't grow. Sounds good. They don't level up. Spend the next 30, 40 years doing the same shit. You feel me? The relationship dynamic needs to be about liberation. You feel me? Teach our sons and our daughters when they go on their first date, see if you can taste their food. See if you can taste their food. And if you can, offer them yours. And focus on developing your relationships in that regard. The spontaneity of it all. The harmony of individuals and shit. Bringing that shit all together. But yeah, this one was long. This one I really felt it. I felt the vibes. But I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.